Welcome to News Mongolia, where we bring you the latest stories and updates from across the nation and beyond. I am Batsirin Namshar. In the News Mongolia today, Mongolia and Vietnam mark the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations in 2024. The Chinggis Khaan, How the Mongols Changed the World exhibition was viewed by over 247,000 people. Mongolia-Swiss foreign ministries hold consultative meeting. For the news, stay tuned. This year marks a significant milestone in the history of international diplomacy as Mongolia and Vietnam celebrate the 70th anniversary of their diplomatic relations. The two nations, with a rich history of friendship and cooperation, are planning a series of events to commemorate this occasion.
Established on November 17, 1954, the diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Vietnam have been characterized by mutual respect, cooperation and support in various fields, including politics, economics, culture and education. Over the past 7 decades, Mongolia and Vietnam have maintained robust political ties. High-level visits and exchanges have been frequent, fostering a strong bond between the leaders and people of both countries. This year, both nations plan to organize a number of diplomatic visits and high-level meetings to keep enhancing their bilateral relationship. Over the last 5 years, the cooperation between our two countries in the defense, tourism and economic sectors has expanded significantly. This growth and collaboration period has revealed our partnership's full potential. As we continue to build on this solid foundation, I'm confident that we can elevate our relationship to a strategic level. As Mongolia is an agricultural country between 1958 and 1970, Mongolia has donated around 100,000 heads of livestock to the Vietnamese people. This is just an example of a long-standing relationship and cooperation. Economic collaboration between Mongolia and Vietnam has also seen substantial growth. Trade between the two countries has increased, with both nations benefiting from the exchange of goods and services. On 1 November 2023, President of Mongolia, Khurelzuk, and his spouse Bolorchechek paid their first state visit to the Socialist Republic of Vietnam in the last 10 years.
Our foreign policy is also directed to the Asian continent. I think cooperation in the Southeast Asian region is really important. We need to learn from their good examples and practices. Lately, ASEAN countries' economic growth is worth our attention. Annually, around 15,000 tourists from Mongolia go to Vietnam, while around 2,000 tourists come to our country from Vietnam. So, our priority now is to increase the number of tourists coming to Mongolia, respectively the benefit from the tourism industry.
Cultural exchange programs have played a pivotal role in strengthening the relationship between Mongolia and Vietnam. Over the years, various cultural events, exhibitions and student exchange programs have fostered a deeper understanding and appreciation of each other's traditions and customs. To mark the 17th anniversary, a series of cultural festivals will be held in both countries, showcasing traditional music, dance and art. As Mongolia and Vietnam celebrate this significant milestone, both countries are committed to further strengthening their diplomatic relations. The 70th anniversary is not just a time to reflect on past achievements, but also an opportunity to set new goals for future collaboration.
The exhibition Chinggis Khaan, How the Mongols Changed the World was organized under the patronage of the presidents of Mongolia and France in October 2023. It was held for more than 6 months at the castle of the Dukes of Brittany Nantes History Museum in Nantes, France. Over 247,000 people frequented the exhibition.
The Nant History Museum, where the Chinggis Khaan How the Mongols Changed the World exhibition is located, was built at the end of the 15th century and once served as a royal castle. The Edict of Nantes, a pivotal document that ended the 30-year religious war in France, was signed here, marking its historical significance. Today, the castle is a registered historical monument. The museum features over 1,150 exhibits in 32 halls, enhanced by modern multimedia technology. It is the most visited museum in Western France, attracting over 333,000 visitors in 2022.
We, at the Nantes City History Museum, have decided to organize an important exhibition about Chinggis Khan and the Mongol Empire. For over 15 years, we have been working to understand the significant globalization that have left their mark on world history. In the 18th century, Nantes itself was a major point of globalization as a port of the Atlantic slave trade. Thus, we are reflecting on and exploring the great connections and globalization throughout history. A few years ago, while discussing globalization of the 17th, 18th and 19th centuries, we realized that some of the most important events in world history occurred back in the 13th and 14th centuries, primarily due to the Mongol Empire. Consequently, we decided to organize an exhibition focused on the history of Chinggis Khan and the Mongol Empire.
In the 13th century, Chinggis Khan and his warriors established a West Empire that stretched from the Mongolian plains to the southern tip of China and from the Pacific Ocean to the Middle East. At its peak, the Mongol Empire ruled over more than 22% of the world's land. This exhibition features artifacts spanning from the 4th millennium BC to the 14th century. It includes unique and valuable items from the Mongolian museums and collectors, as well as rare and extraordinary exhibits from the collections of major museums and institutes in France and Europe. Rather than focusing on the military glory of these historical conquerors, the exhibition aims to illustrate how the Mongols changed the world.
This exhibition has been in the making for quite some time, taking a total of 70 years from the decision to organize it to its opening. The project itself was complex and had its challenges. Initially, we collaborated with the Chinese Museum, but due to disagreements with the Chinese government, we halted the cooperation. Our decision to discontinue made headlines, attracting public attention. Subsequently, officials from the Mongolian side reached out to us after learning about our situation. Ambassadors contacted us and offered to collaborate, prompting us to restart the project with a new partnership. Around the same time, the Chinggis Khaan National Museum was established in Ulaanbaatar. With their offer to collaborate, this wonderful adventure came to fruition, leading to the presentation of the Chinggis Khan How the Mongols Changed the World exhibition. The success of the exhibition is multifaceted. Firstly, it has received immense praise and coverage from media. Secondly, we have had a large and satisfied audience. Visitors to the exhibition have expressed their great delight. Additionally, researchers, scientists, and experts have lauded our exhibition. A significant indicator of our exhibition's success is our catalog. We were fortunate to collaborate with historian Maria Favreau, who produced the catalog for the exhibition. This has become a rich and unique piece of work, featuring contributions from Western, Asian, and Mongolian scholars. When it comes to publishing books with academic content, there is always concern about audience reception. However, the work of the third edition of our exhibition's catalog are soon to be sold out.
The Chinggis Khaan How the Mongols Changed the World exhibition, which concluded on May 5th in Nantes, France, is set to be showcased at the Chinggis Khaan Museum in July, making it accessible to the Mongolian people. Moreover, the exhibition will tour several countries, including Czech Republic, Germany, America, and Canada, aiming to introduce Mongolian culture, the Mongolian Empire, and the contributions of Mongolians to global history to a worldwide audience.
Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs. A political consultative meeting between Mongolia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Federal Department of Foreign Affairs of the Swiss Confederation occurred on June 5, 2024 in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. Both sides commemorated the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and the Swiss Confederation during the meeting. They discussed in detail the organization of high-level visits as part of the anniversary celebrations, aimed at elevating their relations and enriching them with economic content. Both parties agreed to intensify discussions on draft documents to expand cooperation in specific sectors and strengthen the legal framework for bilateral relations. The Mongolian delegation was led by Chinggis Khaan, Director General of the European Department of Mongolia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, while the Swiss delegation was headed by Heinrich Schellenberg, head of the Asian Pacific Division of Switzerland Federal Department of Foreign Affairs. Now let's take a look at the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. You're watching News Mongolia. Now let's take a look at international news from our partner agencies. Two United Nations agencies have stated that hunger and food insecurity in 17 countries could soon worsen due to conflicts and global warming, according to their latest Hunger Hotspots report.
The document by the Food and Agriculture Organization and World Food Programme, released on Wednesday, highlighted the greatest concern for Mali, the Palestinian territories, South Sudan for the first semester of 2024. Haiti was also added to the list due to escalating violence by armed non-state groups, according to Fleur Goutes, Deputy Director of the Food and Agriculture Organization's Office of Emergencies and Resilience. Experts from the two agencies noted that the main causes of the severe situation in these countries was mainly conflicts, armed violence and consequences of climate change.
In several hunger hotspots, we find that armed conflict and violence is a main driver of food insecurity. Then what we see in terms of climate-related drivers, La Nina can be considered as increasing food insecurity, particularly in southern Africa. Not so much in terms of, there can be two effects essentially. So there's abundant rainfall expected, which of course is going to help farmers farm, but at the same time this level of rainfall is associated with increased risk of flooding, which may affect food insecurity.
The populations of countries in conflict with already limited food supplies are also risking reduced access to humanitarian aid, as for example in Gaza, officials said.
So at the highest level of concern, we have Mali, Palestine, Sudan and South Sudan. Haiti was also added as an area of the highest concern. Areas of very high concern are the Democratic Republic of Congo, Myanmar, the Syrian Arab Republic, and Yemen.
According to the report in the Palestinian territories, over 1 million people, half of the population of the Gaza Strip, is expected to face death and starvation by mid-July. Also, excessive rains and extreme weather are feared to worsen the food situation in various countries. According to the UN report La Nina, natural temporary cooling of the equatorial Pacific Ocean that alters world weather patterns is expected to cause abundant rains from August 2024 to February 2025.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.